Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we are here at the last Grand Slam of 2024, the US Open, our home Grand Slam, Bryce. And man, it first and foremost, it just feels like the year has flown by. I mean, we've had all three majors, we've had the Olympics, now we're here at the US Open. Lots of stuff, of course, going on in the news in tennis. But we are here, of course, to chat about what we are seeing in these draws. So, man, are you ready for this US Open 2024?
I am ready. I hate that we are not there, first of all.
Yeah.
As our followers know, we are typically there every year. Got that Ovid in Cincinnati, and so that made us slow down a little bit. I hated that we missed a taste of Cincinnati. I mean, a taste of tennis, sorry, last night, especially with Agassi being there, a big favorite of both of ours. Um, but this is going to be a very interesting U.S. Open because you have kind of a new crop of top players on both the men's and women's side.
Yeah.
We still have the whole story of the returning moms back to the tour. We have some legends that are hanging around and trying to play some good tennis. And we have a number of players who have announced that this is going to be their last U.S. Open. So when you add all of those different stories together, it just really makes for a very, very exciting tournament.
Absolutely, brother. It is going to be another good one, and yeah, man. And what also plays into the storyline here is now people are starting to think about the championships and how can I reach the final eight in the world to be able to get there. So there's going to be a lot of jockeying there, and it will really begin to build out that picture of what that's going to look like as well. So a lot of good stuff for us to see over these next 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get to it.
Yeah.
Everyone is familiar with our normal format. What we typically do is we're going to give a look here at what we consider to be first round popcorn matches. For one reason or another, they're exciting to us and matches that we feel like we're going to definitely sit down and watch in the first round. So we'll take a look at that for both the men's draw and the ladies' draw. After that, we will give our predictions on the main draw. We'll start in at the quarterfinal round and we'll take it all the way through the championships. So sometimes we're dead on, sometimes we're dead wrong. So we'll be back next weekend at the midway point to kind of review these predictions and either continue to puff our chests out about it or make a few changes there. So Isaac, where do you want to start on the popcorn matches, the men or the ladies?
Let's start off with the ladies. And I know that beforehand you and I were talking that I have a little bit lengthier of a list than you do. So I'll very quickly go through kind of the first few, and then I'll let you talk about what I consider to be the true popcorn match. Um, so the first ones that I saw in the top half, of course, Americans. I saw the Danielle Collins versus Caroline Dolehide. Dolahide's been playing some, relatively good tennis this year, so I think that one could be interesting. And I'm not sure where Danielle is right now. The fact that she lost in that pre-tournament to the U.S. Open was a little curious to me. What were your thoughts there, really quickly?
Well, she was injured, so I
That's
don't know if that meant she's not fully 100% yet and she was just trying to get out there. I thought I had read somewhere earlier, and I could be completely wrong about this, but that she was even considering skipping the US Open. So,
wow.
Danielle is one of those stories where we've talked about players that are retiring this year.
That's right.
So, it's kind of like if you do skip it, then this is it, unless you're changing your mind about retiring. So, as we get into our predictions on the draws, it even affected how I made decisions there because I don't know if it was regular Danielle, I feel a certain
Mhm.
kind of way about her. But
Right.
if she's not healthy,
Yep,
don't
exactly.
know.
Exactly. Yeah, so we will see what she brings to the table in that first round because again, that match against Dolahide is not going to be easy. Caroline's been again playing well, big forehand, big serve. So she needs to come out ready. Otherwise, this maybe a short U.S. Open, her final U.S. Open.
Right.
So you got that one. Raducanu versus Kinnan. I just kind of flagged that one just because, again, Raducanu seems to be doing pretty well in this 2024 season, and we never know about Sonia Kinnan, whether or not her game is finally going to pop off and she's going to show us that old Australian Open form when she won it back in the day, or if she's going to kind of just continue to be average.
Right. I think whenever you have two former major title winners meeting in the first round, that's like an automatic popcorn match.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. So that one will be interesting. And I also kind of noted the Shelby versus who is Shelby playing? Shelby's playing Pagula. And only just because, again, it's Americans. I mean, I fully expect for Pagula to get through that match because Shelby's still trying to, find her way back on tour. But I thought that that was just an interesting one because I like Shelby Rogers.
Well, it's doubly interesting because Shelby came out and made her retirement announcement. So she has stated that this is her last U.S. Open. So once again, she falls in that same category as Danielle Collins, and we know, when players are playing the last round, there's some additional inspiration there. You're right. As of current form, Pagula should definitely take this match, but Rogers truly has nothing to lose here, and so I'm sure she'll be swinging out.
Definitely. And no, I actually had not heard that news that she was retiring. There's so much news going on. I had not heard she was retiring. So good on Shelby. We know she just either got married or is still engaged or something like that. So I imagine that plays a part into it as well. But Bryce, I'll pass it over to you for other popcorn matches.
Well, I think we know what the next one is. The moment the draw came out, this hit the highlights for everyone. We have Naomi Osaka, who has a couple of U.S. Opens in her bag, right? Former number one, against the always dangerous one-time Roland Garros champion, Elena Ostapenko. Um, Gosh, I hate that they're meeting in the first round.
Mhm.
Obviously, and I like Ostapenko, I really do, but
Yeah.
naturally my heart is with Osaka. But this is just going to be a bunch of hard hitting, and who really strategically takes it to the other player and keeps, you know, the most number of balls in the court, probably.
That's exactly right, Bryce. That is it in a nutshell. Because both of them don't. It's not like they change up their games and throw high loopers or no. They hit the ball and they hit it hard. So I think it's going to be first strike tennis. Whoever gets the first shot and takes it and does it actually hit the mark? That's what's going to tell the tale on this one. It's a 50-50 to me. In all
Yeah,
honesty,
yeah. So
true popcorn.
right, it really is. So we'll definitely have our good and bad eye on that match. The other match I had,
Yeah.
involves another previous U.S. Open champion, Bianca Andreescu.
Yes.
She will be playing. Uh, I just call it hot girl of the summer, Jasmine Paolini.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't think anybody predicted that Jasmine was going to make the finals of both Roland Garros and Wimbledon this year, and she has just continued to play a very strong brand of tennis. So, and we know Andreescu. Andreescu has a never say die attitude. So that is an amazing first round matchup.
100% agree, Bryce. 100%. Love Paolini. Love Andrescu. Like you said, she's a fighter, but that one's gonna. Once again, truly popcorn in my opinion, because I don't know actually. And the only reason I say that because you would think ranking wise, Paolini would be, of course, an
Right.
easy pick, but Andrescu just always has that little second gear that
Mhm.
she can get to, and when she does, she really can play some outstanding tennis. So it's whether or not she can find that gear, and if she does, how will Paolini respond? But I am looking forward to that one.
Right. So turn it back over to you, my friend.
All right. Well, I'll run through a bunch of them as well, because again, I've got a few. I had noted Potapova versus Fernandez. Not exactly sure why, but I just feel like that's an interesting first round. I do feel like Putintseva, and Noskova is going to be an interesting first round because Putintseva, she always feisty, and Noskova is a young teenager, and again, she's the one that has a win against Iga, and she has a good game. So I honestly feel like that one will be a very competitive first round match. I wrote down here the two lefties, and and our USA homegirl, Taylor Townsend versus Trevisan. I think that's going to be a very interesting match, and I don't exactly know why, but I really think it is. I just think with Taylor being on the surge that she's on, she to me plays the true lefty, and she's going to use her leftiness. Whereas Trevisan she's just an interesting one to me. And she's got that Italian, just, spice and spirit. I don't know why, but I want to see that matchup. And I want to see who exactly is going to assert their leftiness. So I wrote that one down for whatever reason.
Well, and you're talking about two players that bring a lot of attitude to the court.
Yes.
And so that creates a potential for maybe some drama
Right.
on court. So I will be looking for that for sure.
Uh-huh, exactly. And Bryce, I want to ask you because I wrote this one down, and I'm not sure if you had it on your list or not, but it again goes into some of my concerns. Um, what about the Grancheva golf match, first round? Now, Grancheva is the one that took
Mhm.
Iga to 3 sets in Cincinnati. This, but when we thought the match was going to be, bakery and go on, she takes her to 3 sets and makes it competitive. With what we know, is happening with Coco, she's defending 2,000 points. She's defending this Grand Slam. Does that then potentially put her at risk to a Grancheva?
I think Coco gets out the first round.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not going to say how much further she's going to get, but I do think she gets out the first round. I think all the hype around the first round, she'll be ready to go. My concerns for Coco come a little later in the tournament.
And I am 100% with you there. So we will
Right.
leave that there. But folks,
Okay.
definitely a good one to look out for. Bryce, did you have a next one?
Yeah, I have a couple more.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have, and probably 3 months ago, this would not have been a popcorn match for me in the first round, but I have Quinny
Exactly.
have her playing Anna Samova in the first round. Now, Queen is another one like Jasmine Paolini, who's had a hot summer, and people were talking about her, and she walked away with that gold medal at the Olympics. So we know she's feeling good. And Anna Samova decided to come back from somewhere. She got off of that boat with Crystal Waters and Terrence Trent D'Arby and wherever they were all at. She came on back and had a real strong performance at the Canadian Open.
Yeah.
So she's in good form apparently. So I think that could be a really good first round match.
100% agree. I had that one down, and that one will be good. Of course, I give Queenie the edge there, but if Anna
Mm-hmm.
Samova is playing some ball like she was playing in the past, she could definitely get an upset there for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The other one I had is your girl,
Is she my
Madison.
girl? Is she my girl though? Because who had her on here draw last time? I'm gonna say.
Hey, look, my analyst brain will pick her when it's appropriate. Okay. So Madison Keys
Yes, yes.
has a first round match against Siniakova,
Hmm.
who is probably known more for her doubles prowess,
Right.
but um, she brings it in singles um, every now and then. And
Yes.
so we know that Keys has been injured. We know that Keys has not been playing particularly well as of late. So
Right.
she may not be at the top of her game. And that is a dangerous situation to take in against a Siniakova.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised at all if Siniakova walked away with an upset here.
Yeah, I'm with you there because her game is just so up and down. And I think I've mentioned this in the past a numerous amount of times. I feel like she's underachieved as it relates to her singles because I do feel like she has a really good singles game. So when it's on and it's hitting, she can play good tennis. And if Madison is not at 100%, I do see her potentially going out in that match. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
good call.
that's all I had on my list, buddy.
Yeah, the only other one that I had that I wrote down was really two folks that we've talked a lot about in the past that just really aren't quite on their game anymore, and that's Cooter, and she's playing Ons Jabeur in the first round, and so that one,
I,
oh,
I I'm pulled out.
oh, see, I made my draw yesterday, y'all. So I didn't. I had it with ons in the draw. So okay. So with that being said, then no, it's no longer a popcorn match. So there you have it. Thank you, sir.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
that's all I had, man. Bryce.
Okay. All right. Well, let's cross over to the men.
Yes.
Um, and I guess I'll kick it off.
Yes.
With a couple of my popcorn matches. The first one I had was Sonigo and Tommy Paul.
Oh yeah.
These are two big match players. Tommy Paul has been playing very well, challenging to be the top American on tour. We love Tommy Paul. He plays well at the U.S. Open, so that's all great and fine for him. Sonigo is that guy who wins when you don't want him to win. And he
Yeah.
comes and he battles up your faves like nobody's business. So,
Mhm.
this is the first round match. Probably will be a lot of eyes on it. These are the type of matches Sonigo really gets up for. I expect Paul to get it through. It will not be a straight set affair, but Sonigo has the weapons and the energy to win this match for sure.
Yeah, spicy Italian right there. I mean, Sonigo is not to be played with. And I think Tommy will know that going into this match. I hope that by him going out early in Cincinnati, it's given him some time to really rest up from the Olympics, be able to really get his hardcore footing and get
Mhm.
through that match. But you're right, Bryce. That's when I saw that one, I was just like, oh, Tommy. Oh, that's not one you want for the first round because
Right.
Sonigo is just like like you said, he's a big match player, big weapons. I call him my wax on, wax off. He's got that Danielson thing going on. So
Yeah.
I like the guy a lot, but of course against Tommy Paul, he needs to take that
He needs to chill. He needs to
L.
chill, right?
He needs to chill. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yeah.
Um, and kind of in a similar, but maybe not completely alike match, my
Mhm.
next one is CC Paz versus Kokonakis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once again, on paper, you look at this and you would think, CC Paz should just kind of roll through this. Kokonakis is a big match player, especially
Mhm.
if they put this under the lights at night, and it's time to start talking about people's girlfriends. He's going to really come out there and show he's got a big serve.
Yeah.
Once again, like Tommy Paul, I expect for CC Paz to get it done. I don't
Yeah.
expect for it to be a straight set affair. But if Kokonakis gets on one and Kyrgios is in his box and is hyping him up and all that energy is going through, see, at least with Tommy Paul, he's in front of a home crowd.
Right.
So CC Paz doesn't have that advantage. And so
Yeah, exactly. And Bryce, he's had the, all of the drama in the camp, so that's still probably working itself out with the father. I don't know if he has a coach or not. So there's still a lot that's going on in Steph's world that could very easily impact him. So like you, I honestly feel like this one will be 5 sets. And I do give Kokonakis a very, very good chance to pull the upset just
yeah.
because again, I don't know how focused Tsitsipas will be, and God forbid Nick Kyrgios be in Kokonakis' box. That's just more mental that Tsitsipas will not be able to handle. So
Exactly.
yeah, that one will be a good one. That is a good call, my friend.
All
Um,
right. Give us a
yeah.
couple.
Okay, following that, I for whatever reason, and I just wrote this one down just because I honestly feel like it could potentially be what I would consider to be an upset, and that would be that Minsick versus FAA match. Now, FAA has been playing some really good tennis right now, and it seems like he's trying to find his confidence. But I'm gonna tell you what, Minsick has had some very interesting results, and he has taken out some top players. I feel like he is going to go into that match and give Felix all that he can handle. So, folks, you may not know that name Minsick, but I'm telling you what, I feel like that one is going to be a five setter. And I feel like there is going to be a very heavy chance that Felix is upset.
Wow, that's a good call.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that one I was just like, oh, I was like, I don't think Felix wants to see that dude in the first round, but we'll see what happens. How about you,
Right.
bro? Oh yeah, I'll throw another one out here real quick. So I saw that one, Triple Z against Jack Draper. I always want to say Scott Draper, Jack Draper. I think that one will be interesting. You know, Jack, of course, coming off all the drama that happened in Cincinnati with Felix. But I feel like Jack is playing some really good tennis. He's got Wayne Ferrer in the camp now, formerly with Tiafo, and I just like Jack. I'm just a Jack Draper fan for whatever reason, and but at the same time, I also do like Triple Z. So I just feel like I'm going to be personally interested in who comes out of that match, but I do feel like it will be very competitive.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I didn't write that one down, but I did see that.
Yeah.
I think Jack is playing some good tennis right now, and Triple Z, he gets it done here and there.
Yes, he does. So I'll pass it back to you, my friend.
This one might not be for people a popcorn match, and I actually hope it's a blowout personally. But just because they're two old school players, I wanted to acknowledge Gael Monfils and Diego Schwartzman.
Yes.
Uh, these are two of the older veterans on tour going to battle in the first round. Now, I think Gael is playing much better than Diego at the moment. And just physically and athletically and game wise, there's a big difference there. I I totally expect for Gael to win this match, but it's just interesting from a name value standpoint.
100% agree with that. Yep, yep. Had that one noted. So I agree. Everything you just said, 100%.
And then another one I had was Holger Rune against Brandon Nakashima. Uh,
Yes.
Nakashima, another one who came off of that boat of Crystal Waters and Terrence Trent, DRB, and all of them. We hyped him up a lot a couple of years ago when he was making his entrance onto the tour, and everybody knows him for that amazing backhand. Well,
Right.
who else got a pretty good backhand is Rune, and Rune has delivered a lot more on his promise between the two.
Yeah.
That being said, Rune got a head, but ain't no screws in it, and so you know, on any given match, he can be any place and anywhere. And Nakashima is, if he's not anything, he's steady.
Yes. Yes.
So I think that this could be a really, really good first round match.
I 100% agree with you. Had that one written down of and agree with everything that you said. I think it's going to be very competitive. They're right around the same age, and I just feel like Brandon is on one right now. He's healthy. He's feeling confident about his game. He just beat Taylor Fritz.
Taylor, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
so he's got that under his belt. I feel like he's pretty excited right now. So Holger better come in that match ready. And I do feel like you were saying, it will not be straight sets. I just, yeah. So no, good call on that one. Um, I'm going to throw a few of them at you, and just going back just a little bit in the draw. The one that I wanted to point out was you had Alex Diminar versus Marcos Giron. That one I think is one that folks need to watch because of the fact that Demon is coming back from an injury, and Giron is always good for playing, like you said, great solid tennis. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like he might, if Alex is not really 100%, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Giron is going to get that upset. I really, really do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. So hopefully Alex is really fully back. But again, if he's not, do not be surprised if you see Giron's
Okay.
name in that winner circle. Also, I wrote down the whole Jerry Shang versus Bublik only because Bublik is
Mhm.
crazy and Jerry Shang is an up and coming, player who I really like his game. Very, very, very competitive young man. So that one, you just never know what you get out of Bublik. So definitely one to
Right.
keep your eye out on. And then one last one, and I
Mhm.
actually think that this is a true popcorn match. Watch out for that Opelka versus Musetti. That one I feel could be really interesting only because, Musetti's been on one. He is playing, in my opinion, tennis that could get him up into the top 10. And you've got Opelka, who, again, is hard playing, against 7 foot tennis. Um,
Right.
and it'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table now that he's back on the tour and what experience Musetti will bring now that he's got all these victories and a bronze medal around his neck. What he's gonna bring to the table. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, that could be. I it's going to all come down to Opelka's serve
Yeah. Yep.
because if Musetti is able to get just even one break,
Yeah.
um, eh, Opelka cannot hang with Musetti off the ground.
No. Correct.
It will be over on that. So if he has any chance of winning, I think it's going to come down to his serve and really dominating tiebreakers.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. Agree. Pass it back to you, brother.
All right. Well, of course, one of the guys that we've become very interested in this year is the Frenchman Pesci Pericard. Speaking of 7 footers, he's not 7 foot, but he's damn near.
Pretty close.
Has a big game. Is not afraid of nobody. He's playing Echeverry, and I don't know how familiar people are with Echeverry in this game, but he is really a very, very good player. Uh, could end up, getting drove by Pesci. But Pesci is still young in his game, and so
Right.
he kind of goes on the walkabouts and the whole nine. And Echeverry, like we've said about a couple of other players already today, he's very solid
Mhm.
and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he can bring some decent offense into his game. So I think for tennis lovers, that's going to be an entertaining match to watch.
Agree. Absolutely agree, brother. Yeah.
Uh, and then the next match is really the battle of crazy. Um, you have Andre Rublev, who we
Yeah.
all love, but is crazy.
He
Shout out
crazy.
Seal.
Yeah.
Uh, and he's playing, and I never say this guy's name right, but if it's Sibo Veal or
That's close. There you go.
whatever, um, uh, baby Federer, he has really an amazing game.
Yeah.
If I was a player, I wouldn't want to see him in my section of the draw, but he also crazy. So it depends which one took their medication that night and can keep their head on straight.
Right.
But Rublev should win,
Yeah.
but this is such an unpredictable match. You just never know.
I agree with you, Bryce. I agree. I like you. I think that Rublev will have enough wherewithal to stay in it because he ain't gonna want to go out the first round of the U.S. Open. So, but you're right. Both of them crazy, y'all. They crazy. So should be fun to watch.
All right.
and Bryce, the one that I put, of course, in red because I was just kind of like, "Ooh, y'all wrong." Just like when I saw that Osaka Ostapenko in the ladies draw, I saw this one and it was like, y'all so wrong for this. And that's of course Ben Shelton versus Dominic Thiem. I mean, it just made me so sad to see that on the first round because you wanted Dominic Thiem to at least have a chance to maybe get a round or two in him. That's just not going to happen. Ben Shelton is going to be very happy to send him on his way to retirement and be like, yo, good having you, but we'll see you later.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those go and get out of here draws. Um, you
Right?
know, take you and your asterisk U.S. Open uh, on somewhere. Yeah, and I love Team. I really do. I
Yeah.
think it's just cruel the way his career took a turn.
Yeah.
He was one of the ones that quietly we talk about Wawrinka and we talk about Andy Murray in terms of challenging the big three. You have to throw Dominic Thiem in there too. He was getting his victories over them as well
Yes, he
during
was.
their heyday.
That's right.
Um, but yeah, that is truly one of those go and get out of here draws. And if you are a fan of Dominic Thiem, you might want to catch that match
Yeah.
because you might be stuck watching YouTube after that uh, for any Dominic Thiem footage going forward.
There you
Uh,
go. That is it, brother. So that's all I had. You have any others on your side?
Nothing else.
All right. Well, folks, we've gotten through our popcorn matches. Boom.
So let's do this. Let's take a quick break. And I need to kind of lubricate the throat here a little bit. And we will be right back to talk about our predictions on the draws. All right, we're back.
We're back. It's too funny.
So which way are you looking at going, my friend?
You know, whew, I'm, there are going to be surprises on both of my draws, so I'm not even sure. I'll let you make that call. Which one?
Well, we'll keep it consistent. We'll stay with ladies first.
All right, sounds good.
So, as a reminder, we're going to start with our predictions going into the quarterfinals, and we'll walk it out from there. Uh, so, for me, starting up top, the top half of the draw,
Yep.
the four ladies I have making it to the quarterfinals are I have Iga making it through over Andreeva. I have Pegula making it in over Collins. And this is one of the things I was talking about earlier. Yeah. Not knowing Collins' health status, I had to lean Pegula's way for sure. I was already kind of leaning to Pegula, but a healthy Collins would have made it more of a toss-up.
Right.
I have Rybakina, who split with her coach. So we don't know if that's going to play a role or not, but I think she's still going to have enough in the bag to take out Kalinskaya to get there. And the one that breaks my heart here a little bit, I got to stay with the hot girl from the summer, Jasmine Paolini, and I have her coming in over Naomi Osaka.
Okay. So as folks probably can hear, I'm sick, so that may have messed with a little bit of the mental, but it is what it is. I'm going to tell you my predictions. So, Bryce,
yes,
I too have Iga versus Mira Andreeva in the round of 16, but I honestly believe Mira Andreeva is going to upset Iga and make it to the quarters. I'm calling it. And here's why I'm calling it, because she was doing an interview with Prakash Amritraj at the Cincinnati Open. And she was like, yeah, man, she put out there, she was like, yeah, she's just another human. She ain't nothing exceptional. And she was like, if I happen to lose to her this time, I'll beat her the next time. And I absolutely believe that's what she gonna do. I think that match in Cincinnati was a very good quality match. She lost 7-5 in the third. And I just honestly feel like she's coming into hers, and I think she's due for a bit of a surprise. And so I'm just going to step out there and call it. So I have Mira. You see, I have to laugh when I say that. I have Mira making it to the quarters. I do, like you said, I have her facing Pegula because I see Pegula taking out Collins just for what you mentioned. I have Rybakina as well. I have her getting in over Haddad Maya. And that just whatever. But like you said though, and again, I don't know if it's the fog or what have you, but I have that Osaka Paolini match. I'm going Osaka. I'm just for whatever reason, I'm just feeling like this to me is her time to step up and show that she's really ready to get back into the top of women's tennis. And I would be very disappointed if she doesn't do so. So yeah, I have Osaka making it to the quarters.
I would that Paolini Osaka match is one of those matches where I'm kind of like, may the best woman win. I mean, I would
Exactly.
be extremely happy for either one of them. I would
Mhm.
say if Osaka happens to lose, then at least she will have had a nice run. You
Right.
know, um,
Exactly.
she hasn't had a
Exactly.
lot of nice runs yet. So
No.
this would be kind of maybe one of the first real good deep runs she's had.
Yeah.
Um, you want to start us off with the bottom half?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the bottom, I've got I actually have Badosa making it to the quarters over Azarenka. I just feel like Paola's on the one right now, and she's really finding her game. So I'm impressed with that. I've got her playing Svitolina, and I think Svitolina is actually going to be playing her countrywoman Kostiak to get to the quarters. So I've got that one. I got Queenie making it in over Kazatkina. And then I have Sabalenka. And actually, now I'm going to have to go and update because for whatever reason, I had Sabalenka on with Ons Jabeur, but Ons is out of the tournament. So I need to go and relook at that. But it still doesn't change my prediction. I still feel like Sabalenka is going to get there. So, how about you, brother?
Well, we picked all the four the same,
Oh,
all the four same quarterfinalists. The only differences we had were the details, you
okay.
know, who they
Right.
beat to get there. I did have Badosa coming in over Azarenka.
Okay.
Uh, I had Svitolina coming in though over Navarro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I was trying to figure out which of those two to go with, but yeah.
I, I had Queenie coming in over Vekic.
Ah, okay, gotcha,
And because I didn't have Ons on my slate, I had Sabalenka coming in over Mertens.
gotcha. Okay, okay. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so
And
now
what's
that go ahead. Sorry.
well, and I guess what we can just very quickly talk about is the fact that neither of us mentioned Coco Golf. So, are you thinking that she will go out to Svitolina? Well, I guess she would have to, yeah, since we both picked her.
Uh, I don't know. I may have had it going up. And wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah,
No shade to Coco because
no,
if it's up
no,
to me, I want Coco to defend the whole tournament. I would not be bad at that at all. Matter of fact, that's what I
exactly.
would want.
Right, right,
But I just think is one thing. I think Coco has been successful recently with some holes in her game because her mental has been so strong.
correct.
I think there are now cracks in the mental.
Yeah, yeah.
And with cracks in the mental and cracks in the game,
It doesn't lead to winning tennis, and I think that that's what we're seeing, and that's
mhm,
exactly what you said. She is a true competitor, and she's been able to get wins just with sheer grit
yep,
and determination, which again is that mental aspect. But when you've got a crack there, I just feel like, and it makes me sad. And I hope that we're wrong. Of course, like
right,
we just said, I want Coco to win the whole dang thing, but it's just her going out that first round to Cincinnati. I was like,
right.
so anyway, so Coco, like I said, we are on your side. I want you to know that,
Yes,
but we are also, we have to do these picks, and
tennis
yeah,
brains.
gotta
Yeah.
gotta gotta do what we do. So with that said, okay, we're gonna move forward. So Bryce, we've gotten our quarters. Who do you see in your semis?
Top to bottom, I have Iga over Pagula. I have Paolini over Rabakina. I have Svitolina over Badosa. And I have Sabalenka over Queenie.
Mm, man, we only have like one similar semifinal, which is different for us.
Right.
Um, for me, of course, since I went boldly and picked Mira Andreeva, I actually think that she will continue her run. I think she will beat Jess Pagula. So I have Mira versus. I have Mira versus Osaka. I'm just apparently on the
Okay.
Osaka train. I'm like, Osaka,
Love
if
that.
you gonna do it, you better do it. So I have Osaka there, and I then have on the bottom, I actually have Badosa getting past Svitolina, and I have her, of course, playing her good buddy Sabalenka in the semis.
All right. So so we have Yeah,
One,
one.
just one. Yeah, Big Sam.
That's
which is
funny.
which is very rare, y'all, because Bryce and I are typically very aligned in our picks.
Toward
But
the end of the pick, right? Of the
yeah,
tournament draws, right?
exactly.
All right. So I have, Iga taking out Paolini as in the battle of the pocket-sized champions. Um, and then I have Sabalenka taking out Svitolina for Iga Sabalenka final.
Nice, nice. Well, again, I got this brain fog. So I still feel like the young one is going to be on one. So I'm picking Mira Andreeva to make her first final. I think she would
Okay.
then take out Naomi Osaka and make it to her first final. And I, like you, though, do have Sabalenka making it to the final, beating her good buddy, Paula Badosa.
Dosa. Gotcha. Um, Look, I'm just gonna stay with it. I believe Iga is undefeated in major finals,
Mhm.
and I'm going to assume she's gonna stay that way. Uh, so I pick Iga to be the champion over Sabalenka.
Nice, nice. I, of course, with my pick, I do feel like again the youngster is going to make a very, very strong run, but I feel like she is going to get tossed up in that final. I feel like Sabalenka is going to avenge the loss that she took to Coco last year, and she is going to finally hoist her first U.S. Open title. So I'm picking Big Sab to win over Mira Andreeva.
This is going to be very interesting when we come back a week from now.
It really is.
And we've seen Coco handling up on everybody, and we're like, I'm changing my
Just everything. I'm gonna change everything. I mean, honestly,
right.
folks, my draw could bust in the first round if Osaka gets stolen by Ostapenko. So there you have it.
But that's good. But you know what? At the end of the day, on my side, an Iga champion, on your side, a Sabalenka champion, they have to be your two best picks to win the
Exactly.
tournament. We get caught up in the previous rounds details and who you picked and all that, but at the end of the day, I think one of us probably has still picked the eventual champion of the 2024 U.S. Open.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly, Bryce. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
All right, so
All
let's flip
right.
it over to the fellas.
Yes, 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 yes.
Their craziness over there. Um, this is gonna be some good stuff. Look, okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll go ahead again and start the
Please.
top of the men's.
Yep.
So getting into the quarterfinals,
Hmm.
I have center. I saw that he fired his physio and his massage therapist now that, like Jermaine Stewart said, the word is out. You, you know, he fired them, so he back to
Hmm.
regular people strength, and I have him getting to the quarterfinals over Tommy Paul,
Gotcha. Okay.
and I have the next one. I have Medvedev getting there over Tsitsipas, which is a popcorn match in itself between the two of them, but I think Medvedev will have too much for Tsitsipas.
Mhm.
I have Alcaraz getting there over Tabilo.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes. And then I have, what up, Coach CB? I have Herkic getting there over Demon Yor, assuming, once again, this is another one of these situations. I'm assuming Demon Yor is healthy now,
Right. Right.
uh, but I'm figuring that won't matter to Hubie.
Well, yeah. And see, that's an interesting one as well, because again, Demon's coming off of injury. I don't know if you know this, but Hubie just retired from
Mm-hmm.
his match that he played in this previous tournament, which honestly impacted how I did my prediction. So,
Okay.
like you, I do have Center making it to the quarters. I actually, and as I feel ashamed because I'm not voting on my dude Tommy Paul, but I actually think that Arthur Feast is going to get to that round of 16 match, and
Okay.
I think that Center gets in over Arthur Feast. I do have him, of course, playing Medvedev. And as much as I talked about that first round, like potential, upset of Felix, I actually think Felix gets through that. And I actually think that he will play Medvedev in the round of 16, but yet again, he will lose to him. Um, Poor Felix. So like you, I do have the center versus Medvedev.
Okay.
I have Alcaraz as well. And I actually have Alcaraz getting there over Sebastian Corda.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's that one. And then, like I said, I didn't know where Hubie stood. I didn't know where Demon stood. So this was my wild card, and I actually had Karen Hachinoff versus Matteo Arnaldi, and I picked Arnaldi to actually make it to his first quarterfinal of a Grand Slam. Because again, I just don't know where Hubie is. Of course, I would typically either vote for him or actually I would vote for Demon if I knew he were 100%.
Right.
But going in with what we have out there, I just figured we'll pick out of the box here. So yeah, I have Arnaldi.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll get us going on the bottom half.
All right. So the bottom half, I actually think Monfils is going to have a really good tournament. I do see him making it to the round of 16 against Taylor Fritz, but I do feel like Fritz is going to come through and make it to the quarters. I have a Runa versus Zverev round of 16. I have Zverev making it through that to the quarters. The next one, I have Rublev versus Dimitrov, and I do feel like Dimitrov will make it to the quarters there. And then my last one, I'm hoping that we get another phone call rematch. I want Ben Shelton and Novak Djokovic, and I think that that's going to be the matchup there. So that's what I call it there. What about you, bro?
And who do you, uh who you have winning that?
I have Djokovic winning it.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
We're very, very close. I have Fritz over Monfils as well. I have Zverev over Runa as well. I actually have Rublev coming through
Oh,
over Davidovich Fokina. I
oh,
don't
okay.
think I don't think what's the guy's
Grigor.
name? Grigor is on one right now.
Okay.
So I I challenge myself with
Hmm.
going with him. And then I have Djokovic over Shelton.
Gotcha.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and you know what? I think Shelton will come out and be hyped and maybe even take the first set, and then Djokovic is going to be like, okay,
Let me just reset real quick, and
yeah,
and do what I do
right,
because now I'm the gold medalist of the 2024
right,
Olympics.
right,
So, all
son.
right, exactly. All right, Bryce. So, who do you have in your semis?
And my semis, just again, top to bottom,
Yeah.
I have Medvedev taken out center.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say this real quick. I think this whole performance enhancing drug thing is going to be a mental drain on
Agree.
center, and it's going to probably prevent him from being able to play his absolute best tennis. I think it will allow him to get to the quarters, but I think, especially with Medvedev losing early in Cincinnati, I think Medvedev was like, okay, the only way I can be right with this is if I
Yeah.
come and do my thing at the U.S. Open. So
Exactly.
picking Medvedev to come in over center,
Mm-hmm.
picking Alcaraz to come over Herkic,
Mm-hmm.
Demon, or Michael Jackson, whoever's coming through that leg.
It don't matter.
Yeah, Alcaraz. I have Zverev taking out Taylor Fritz.
Mhm.
Sorry, Mr. Russell. Uh, and then I have Djokovic just with the strong mental over Rublev
Yeah.
getting there.
Well, tell you what, unlike the women's draw, we are completely aligned on the men's draw because that's
Nice,
exactly what I have. I have Medvedev
nice.
over Sinner, Alcaraz over Arnaldi, Zverev over Fritz, and Djokovic over Dimitrov.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, so run us out.
well, bruh, for now, this is where things are going to get really crazy. For me, I- okay, I don't know about you, but for me, it was extremely, extremely shocking seeing Carlos Alcaraz break his racket in that match against Gael Monfils. for whatever reason, because again, we always equate him to your Nadal and your Federer, and of course a little bit of Djokovic in there, but we mainly consider him to be more Federer and Nadal. And when he did that, I was just like, I was just like, whoa. It threw me. And I know Roger has cracked a racket, in his professional career, once he became Roger. And he did, of course, when he was younger. But that just threw me. And that just made me think that, okay, what is going on with Carlos? And I feel like that Olympic loss to Djokovic and getting that silver medal is really messing with his mental a little bit. And I think that, of course, as we talk about the genius of the game, Medvedev is going to know how to capitalize on it. And for me, I just feel like I'm feeling Medvedev right now. So I
All
feel
right.
like Medvedev is going to beat Carlos Alcaraz and make it to yet another U.S. Open final. And of course, at the bottom, it's Djokovic in the final because Zverev ain't never got nothing for Djokovic. What about you?
Well, this is where we're a little different. Uh,
Okay.
I have the exact opposite final as you.
What?
Yeah, I have Alcaraz over Medvedev, and the reason being is I do agree. Yeah, the Olympics, he was a little disappointed with that, and the breaking of the racket. I don't know. I don't. That one didn't affect me as much, but in these Grand Slams, Alcaraz has shown that he shows up,
Mhm.
especially in these later stages. As a matter of fact, I think he's like Iga. I don't think he has lost in the finals of a major. Um, so I feel that once he gets to the semifinal level of the tournament, he's locked in again.
Mm,
So if I'm gonna lose Alcaraz, I'm gonna lose him earlier.
mm. Okay.
I think Alcaraz gets more dangerous the later in the tournament it is.
Okay.
And I think, and I love Medvedev, and was so happy to meet him in Cincinnati. And Alcaraz is one of the few players, especially on hard court, that I will pick over Medvedev. And it's because of the same reason we've said for the last couple of years. Alcaraz has that additional gear level he can go to in those big moments. Um, and I think he'll do that to Medvedev and win. And I think it may be a great match. It may even be a five setter,
Mm, mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
I'm picking Alcaraz to come through.
Okay.
Um, you know what? I was pretty impressed with some of the matches that I watched Zverev played in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Um, Djokovic has kind of how do I say this? I think he kind of shot his shot this year with the Olympic gold medal. I
Mm,
think that was such a big thing for him. Yes, he wants to win the US Open or whatever, but it's like he got that gold this year. And I think there's a fire that's still there in Zverev that this may be an opportunity for
mm.
him uh, to get Djokovic. I'm going to need Zverev to tighten that forehand up if he's going to win. But if he gets back to serving those bombs at the 70, high 70, 80% range like he was this summer, and that backhand and is really fighting, you got to call an upset here and there sometime. And
Yeah.
I'm calling it over Djokovic.
Right. I hear you, bro. I hear you. So who do you have winning your US Open draw?
Alcaraz. I mean, once again, he's undefeated in major finals for a reason. Uh, Zverev is defeated in major finals for a reason. That's not a good finals matchup for Zverev, and I think Alcaraz wins his fifth major. Was he 21?
Believe so. Yeah. Yeah. 21.
He's doing stuff that your favorites haven't done.
Right. Right.
So, it's so funny. I have a friend of mine that says, "Oh, what's going on with Alcaraz? He may actually be overrated." I'm like,
Ooh.
let me just say this real quick. Roger, nor Rafa, nor Djokovic had four majors when they were 21.
That's correct.
So,
That is correct. And
Not
working on the calendar slam. I mean, working
exactly
on, yeah, the not calendar, but the grand slam, having all
right,
four.
right. So I'm not going to say overrated is the right word. I just think expectations for a man of his talent are out the freaking roof.
Absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly and can absolutely be on board with that reasoning and that prediction totally. Um I on my side, and again, it could be brain fog, I don't know. But in my final I have Medvedev versus Djokovic. Medvedev at that point would have had to have gotten through both Sinner and Alcaraz to then make a US Open final to play Djokovic. I
Right.
think honestly that will be a little bit too much for him to handle. And as crazy as it sounds, y'all, and don't be booing me, boo. I'm gonna pick Novak Djokovic. I think that he is, again, he won the Olympic gold. I think that that was again that one little piece that was missing off of his resume, and I think that he wants to really wrap it up now and get to 25, and so that he has the undisputed number of
Uh-huh.
singles Grand Slam championships. So yeah, I'm just gonna be wild, and we'll see what happens. Of course, like I said, what I would want to see is your draw, which is Alcaraz winning. But again, this is what my tennis brain told me to go with. So that's where we're at.
Once again, we've got, I think, the right people at the end of the tournament.
Right, right.
And it'll just be a matter of details.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It matters who shows up on the day, who does what they can do. That, that's
Exactly.
that's what's up. But it's going to be exciting, nevertheless, folks. So we are excited to jump into this U.S. Open 2024, and we hope that you are as well.
And don't forget to join us back next week when we come back during our mid fortnight review show to talk about the first week of the tournament, what's gone down, and what we expect to see happen in the second week of the tournament. So, um, as a reminder, because I know we kind of get confused on these things because tennis coverage is all over the place. I think ESPN has the majority of the tennis coverage. Go out there and get your 30 days of ESPN Plus for $10.99 and set your calendar reminder to cancel it when the tournament is over. Shout out to you, Disney. So anyway, with that being said, any final words, Isaac?
Not a thing for me, brother. Enjoy the U.S. Open.
Absolutely. So, on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce,
And this is your boy Isaac.
and we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, be well and enjoy the tennis.